In the heart of Barcelona lies a dark secret, hidden in the attic of a quarantined apartment building. This is the chilling story of Tristana Medeiros, a girl whose tragic fate unleashed a demonic outbreak that would spread terror across the Rec universe. But what really happened to her? And how did a single parasite spark an apocalypse? Let's dive into the horrifying origins and unravel the mysteries behind this iconic franchise. The Medeiros girl was originally a Portuguese child named Tristana Medeiros de Souza, who lived in a convent and worked as a cook. One night, while praying in her room, Tristana was assaulted by a group of priests. The next morning, a nun found her, apparently dead. Fearing for her soul, the nuns tied her to a bed and attempted an exorcism during their vigil. However, Tristana woke up and reacted violently to the priest's prayers. She killed the nuns by screaming at a very high frequency, causing the windows to shatter and impaled the nuns with the broken glass. Tristana then killed the attending priest by striking him in the head with a crucifix. Horrified, the same nun who had found Tristana after the assault managed to calm her by injecting her with a tranquilizer. A possessed Tristana was kept restrained with sedatives and tied to a crucifix until Vatican priests arrived. One of them was Father Albelda. The case made headlines, and sometime later, Tristana was reported missing. Somehow Albelda transferred Medeiros to an apartment building in the center of Barcelona, where the demon was chained in the attic and sealed behind a door that would only open in total darkness. In addition to being a religious man, Albelda conducted scientific experiments using Medeiros' blood. He used rats and local children as test subjects. These experiments revealed to Albelda that the root of the possession was a particular enzyme that had mutated into an infectious disease transmitted through saliva and bodily fluids. Albelda concluded that he needed to stop the possessed girl to prevent a possible outbreak. He prepared a meal for Medeiros, which was just a combination of body parts, and poisoned it in an attempt to neutralize the threat. When the creature appeared to lose consciousness, he unlocked her chains, but she suddenly woke up and chased him throughout the apartment. Albelda climbed into the air ducts where infected children had been trapped and locked himself in there to die. Medeiros transformed into a supernaturally blind and emaciated figure, confined to the darkness until she found an escape when Angela and Pablo discovered the attic. Because Albelda had used rats to test the infection, some managed to escape, causing the virus to spread throughout the building. Angela Vidal was a reporter who followed a group of firefighters, along with her cameraman Pablo, to an apartment building that ended up being quarantined along with its residents. After the demonic virus infected everyone except Angela and Pablo, the two survivors were cornered into the attic apartment. In the dark room, they found newspapers reporting on the Medeiros case and Albelda's records of his experiments. Since there was no light, they could only see Medeiros through infrared, and she managed to escape and attack them. The demon grabbed Angela and inserted a worm-like organism into her mouth, possessing her body and gaining the ability to leave the darkness and consequently the attic. Later that night, a few floors below, she encountered a Vatican priest, Father Owen, who had entered the building with a special operations group team in search of Medeiros' blood to create an antidote. The demon pretended to be Angela and followed the team to the attic, where the demonic entity was still lurking. Angela shot the creature in the head, and the demon fully took over her body, ready to leave the place. Since Owen was unwilling to let anyone leave the building, Medeiros killed him and mimicked his voice on the radio, claiming that only one woman had survived the outbreak. The comic Historias Ineditas, which is primarily a prequel to the film series, suggests that while she was in the attic, Medeiros could remember her life as a pure and beautiful child and lived in total sadness due to her fate of being possessed by such an evil entity. The second movie asserts that the demon inside her can control infected people and communicate through them, while the third movie presents Medeiros as the reflection of the infected in the mirror, emphasizing the idea that she is the seed of the outbreak. Despite its supernatural origins, the demonic virus is described as a common virus in human blood. The time for symptoms to appear varies between blood types, with some people turning into bloodthirsty creatures immediately, and others taking some time before the virus begins to affect them. Possessed individuals can be subdued by religious forces, such as the recitation of scriptures, typically performed by a priest. The Medeiros demon manifests when religious rituals, similar to exorcisms, are forced upon it. In children, the approximate reaction time is longer than in any infected adult. For example, Jennifer in the first movie only displayed symptoms similar to tonsillitis, or so her mother claimed. The infected move very quickly and lack self-preservation instincts. They only seek to spread the infection, making them nearly unstoppable unless their brain is destroyed. Due to the demonic origin of the virus, people can protect themselves with Christian prayers and religious items like crosses and holy water. Similar to infestation, a supposed form of demonic possession, the virus can also affect animals. Besides Jennifer's dog Max, the comic Historias Ineditas explores an outbreak in a zoo where its infected animals, including the corpse of Snowflake, an albino gorilla, escape the same night the events of the first and second movies occur. According to the third film, the outbreak is actually the beginning of the demons' freedom, having managed to escape the darkness in which God trapped them. In line with this, the Medeiros creature in the first two films appears to exist in a slightly different plane of reality than others. It can only be seen and can only attack or infect others in total darkness. In addition to the creature being revealed when a camera's night vision is activated, the geography of the apartment where it was confined also changes in the darkness. This is shown when a member of the Special Operations Group unit is pulled into a bathtub filled with water in the apartment, and when the light is turned on, the bathtub is replaced with other objects. The parasite is a supernatural, demonic entity in the form of a worm-like organism generated within Tristana Medeiros after her possession. It is the seed of the demonic outbreak and is capable of infecting others and controlling them directly from within. The parasite is first seen in Rec 1 and also appears in Rec 4 Apocalypse. It was apparently created after Tristana Medeiros was demonically possessed following sex by a group of priests. The parasite remained within her as her possession progressed. Tristana's possession was able to spread in the form of a virus, infecting all the occupants of the quarantine building, forcing Angela Vidal to hide in the upper apartment where Tristana was concealed. The parasite found an opportunity to leave Medeiros' body and forcibly transferred itself to Angela, taking control of her. After Father Owen entered the building trying to find a cure for the outbreak, Angela ultimately killed Medeiros' corpse and demanded Owen let her out, which he adamantly refused. The demon inside her rebelled and killed him, mimicking his voice and informing the authorities that only one woman had survived the outbreak. When a second Special Operations Group team entered to extract Angela, the parasite found a new host, transferring itself to Guzman, one of her rescuers. Guzman and Angela were taken to a quarantine ship where a new outbreak occurred, and the parasite remained inside Guzman. The chief medical officer on board still believed the parasite was inside Angela until she proved she was uninfected by biting her own hand. Angela realized it could be inside Guzman, which he finally confirmed when the parasite tried to re-enter her. Nick managed to help Angela, and she killed Guzman with a harpoon. After Angela and Nick escaped the ship, it exploded, killing the horde of infected soldiers. However, the parasite remained unharmed in the water and was swallowed by a fish, thus finding its new host. The origins of Rec's demonic infection is one of unimaginable tragedy, turning an innocent life into the seat of chaos and terror. Tristana's story reminds us of how fragile humanity can be when faced with forces beyond our understanding. From the darkness of that attic to the relentless spread of the infection, her legacy lingers as both a warning and a mystery. It's a haunting reminder of how even in horror, there are moments of humanity lost to circumstances beyond control. What do you think? Could her fate have been different? Or was it all inevitable? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hey, don't go just yet. If you enjoyed my video, I'd love to recommend another one for you to watch.